might recall, Kodiak recently made some news after heavy winds stirred up volcanic ash, which came from a massive volcanic eruption on Katmai more than 100 years ago.
Now that ash drifted up about 4,000 feet, prompting an aviation alert earlier this month. As author Laurel Downey-Bill tells us, it's not the first time the people of Kodiak had to deal with ash from that major event. She joins us this morning for some story time with Aunt Phil. Good morning, Laurel.
Good morning, James and Megan. Yes, when I heard that news, I immediately thought about the people of Kodiak on June 6, 1912, when Nova Rupta blew its top. That was the largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century.
Oh, wow. So as big as it was, not a lot of people actually witnessed it. Is that right?
That's right. Only some natives that were living on Savanoski and Katmai were the actual eyewitnesses to the event. But people on the shores of Cook Inlet and in Seward heard explosions, and they saw flashes in the sky and clouds of ash. And then some people in Cordova actually got nasty burns when the ash mixed with rain and came down and burned their skin.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, as we alluded to, the eruption also had a big impact on Kodiak.
Yeah, the people of Kodiak, now they didn't hear the explosion, but the winds blew the ash their direction. And by 5 o'clock, the ash was coming down, and by 8 o'clock, it was just about pitch black outside, which is odd because, of course, in June, you have 24 hours of sunlight. And the ash was so thick, they were worried they were going to suffocate from it. In fact, people that were standing 200 feet away from a building that was burning to the ground did not even know there was a fire going on.
Oh my gosh. So people, they were able to escape the island, or did they have to ride it out and stay in their homes?
Well, luckily, the revenue cutter Manning was in port that day, and so the Greek priest came up with a plan and told the people when they heard the bells of the church ring that they were supposed to head down to the dock to get on the Manning. At about 4 in the morning, the bells started pealing, and the Manning blew whistle after whistle, and the people in Kodiak then got some material in water, put it up to their face so they could breathe, and then they made their way through the black and through all the ash and got down to the water, got on the Manning, and then the captain went over to Woody Island and got another 103 people, and off out into the open sea. He took them to be safe. And it was just an incredibly crowded event because, of course, the ship was only built for 100 people, and now it had about 500 people on board.
Wow.
Scary stuff.
Lucky it was there in the first place. So I guess history often tells us that, an eruption of this size, thrust the world or thrust that area into darkness. Was that the case here in Kodiak?
Absolutely. The people of Kodiak went through 2 days and 3 nights of virtual darkness. They did make it back to the shores on June the 10th to see that Kodiak was still standing, but it was totally buried in ash. In fact, more ash came out, 30 times more ash came out of that than Mount St. Helens in 1980.
Wow.
And all that ash helped create what we now call the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. And then in September of 1918, President Wilson established the Katmai National Monument, which later became the Katmai National Park and Preserve when the ANILCA passed in 1980.
Those images are stunning. It looks like massive snowfall. That's ash.
Yeah.
That is ash.
Tough to wrap your head around it. The black and white doesn't help, but my goodness, that is something. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the people
amazing.
thought they were going to be found like those of Pompeii.
Oh boy,
Wow.
That's not good. That's all right though. They escaped.
They escaped.
They escaped, and they're still there to tell the story. Well, at least their descendants are.